have you heard the buzz about Devahalali? It's this area north of Bangalore that used to be a quiet little town, and now it's at the heart of what feels like a modern-day gold rush in real estate. Today, we're going to dig in and figure out what is actually driving this incredible boom. Let's get to it. So, here's the big question on everyone's mind. Is all this hype around Devanahali for real? Is it a sustainable gold rush that's built on solid ground? Or is it just a massive bubble that's waiting to pop? We're going to break down all the facts and find out what's really going on. This whole transformation isn't some happy accident. Nope. It's all part of a huge, coordinated plan to turn this entire region into a self-sufficient aerotropolis. And what's that? Well, think of it as a city that's literally built around its airport, with its own economic engines, its own social hubs, the whole nine yards. And this vision is really connecting with people. This quote just nails the shift in thinking. For so many, Devanahali in the Nandi Hills area started out as just a weekend escape from the city. But now, people are seriously considering it for their main home, or at least a second one, because they're looking for more space and cleaner air. So, what's actually fueling this boom on the ground? It is definitely not just hype. When you boil it all down, it comes down to a really powerful trio of growth engines that are completely changing the landscape of the area. We're going to look at each one. All right, so here are the three pillars holding this all up. First, you've got the massive impact of the international airport. Second, this incredible web of new infrastructure that's changing the game. And third, these enormous employment hubs that are basically acting like a giant job magnet. First up, the thing that started it all, the Kempegowda International Airport. And it's so much more than just a place for planes. It's a full-blown economic engine. It's India's second busiest airport. Its location alone is a huge draw for global companies, logistics firms, hotels, and of course, all the people who work for them. Now here's where it gets really smart. Look at how they're connecting this area. We're talking massive projects like the Satellite Town Ring Road, the new 6-lane NH44 Expressway, and the Nama Metro extension. Together, they're creating this seamless web of connectivity that just slashes travel times to the city and other key towns. And this gives you a perfect idea of the sheer scale we're talking about. The STR isn't just another road. It's a 280-kilometer-long expressway. It's designed to create an economic corridor that links 12 different satellite towns, letting traffic completely bypass the city and just fueling growth across the whole region. And now for engine number 3, the jobs. And we're not talking about a few new office buildings. This is a cluster of mega projects like the Aerospace Park that's pulling in giants like Boeing and Rolls-Royce. And then you have the upcoming ITIR, that's the Information Technology Investment Region, and a financial city. These are set to create a brand new economic center from scratch. Okay, and get this, that ITR project we just mentioned, it alone is projected to create over 1.2 times million direct jobs. Just let that number sink in. That is a staggering number of professionals who are all going to need places to live, schools for their kids, and things to do right here in this area. Okay, so we've seen the big picture stuff. The airport, the roads, the jobs. But what does all that actually mean for the real estate on the ground? How is all this investment translating into the types of properties you can buy and what they cost? Now, this is where it gets really interesting, especially if you're an investor. Look at these projected returns. Sure, apartments are expected to see some pretty healthy growth, but plotted developments, they're forecasted to appreciate at a mind-blowing 20% every year. This is probably because there's only so much land to go around, and demand for custom homes is through the roof. It really explains why so many people are snapping up plots here. And if we zoom in a little, you can see these different micro-markets popping up. You'll notice that the spots closest to the airport, like Devanahali Town and Shatire, they have the highest prices for both apartments and plots. Makes sense. Meanwhile, you've got the Nandi Hills area, which offers more of a lifestyle investment with a lower price tag, which is perfect for people looking for a second home. And what's cool is the market here is really catering to every kind of buyer. You've got everything from standard plots to build your dream home on, all the way to gated communities, luxury apartments, and even these sprawling ultra-luxury villas tucked away in the Nandi Hills. The range of options is just incredible. All right, now with any market that's growing this fast, there are always going to be risks. It's way too easy to get swept up in all the excitement, but a smart investor always does their homework. So let's talk about that reality check. So, is it all just smooth sailing from here? The short answer is no, not at all. When you have this much development happening this quickly, you're gonna run into challenges, from legal loopholes to environmental issues. So let's look at the absolute essential checks every single investor needs to make. This slide right here, this is your essential toolkit. Before you even think about signing a check, you have to verify these 5 things. First, make sure the project is RARE registered for transparency. Second, check for clear title deeds to prove ownership. Third, you need that ACATA certification. That's a key legal doc. Fourth, confirm the land was properly converted if it used to be farmland. And finally, scrutinize all the environmental clearances. And for anyone who isn't familiar with it, RERA is your absolute best friend in this process. It's a government authority that was set up specifically to protect homebuyers from sketchy developers and to make sure projects get delivered as promised. So always look for that RERA registration number. And this is a really critical warning, especially for those beautiful plots with a hillside view. Those environmental regulations are strict for a very good reason. Building on steep slopes isn't just dangerous, it's often illegal. This is a safety check that is completely non-negotiable. Okay, so we've covered the drivers, we've looked at the market, and we've talked about the risks. So let's look ahead to the horizon and see what's coming next that's going to keep shaping this region. Well, the momentum is definitely set to continue for at least the next decade. You've got major projects like the Nandi Hills Ropeway, which will boost tourism and that lifestyle appeal. And then the full launch of the business parks in the ITIR by 2035 will basically cement this area's status as a top-tier economic hub. So here's the crucial takeaway from all of this. Dave and Ahali's growth isn't just speculation. It is backed by billions of dollars in real, long-term infrastructure and commercial investment. But, and it's a big but, that opportunity comes with a very clear need for you to do your homework and carefully navigate the risks. Which, of course, leaves us with our final question. After everything we've seen, the massive potential and the very clear risks, is Dove and Ahali the blueprint for the future of urban investment? Or is it just a high-stakes gamble? Well, as we've seen, the answer really depends on your strategy and how well you do your homework.